I don't know about your part of town, but I am forever dodging potholes at the moment. And I'm guessing we can blame all the rain that we've had this year. So I was very interested to discover an app that you can use to report things like potholes, broken footpaths, etc. It's called Snap, Send, Solve, and councils around the country, including Brisbane, have signed up to be part of this so that when you report something on the app, it goes straight to City Hall. Julie Situ from Snap, Send, Solve is here. She can tell you how it works. Hello, Julie.
Good morning, Spencer. How are you?
I'm very well. I had a play yesterday, and I've got to say, first of all, thank you for making it so easy to download and set up. It took me about 20 seconds, and I didn't have to come up with another password. So that's number one.
Fantastic to hear.
Second thing I noticed when I had a play yesterday is you can see all the things that people have reported near you. And so the first thing that came up was a pothole that someone else had reported less than an hour earlier, and there was a photo. And I gather this is a new feature on the app.
Yeah, absolutely. The feed is a great feature for the app. And you're right, it is quite easy to download and use, and it is free to download and use to report over 70 issues across council, your power company, your water company, abandoned trolleys, anything along those lines. And it has been for use for about 15 years. We've got almost 1 million users now.
Extraordinary. And yet I only heard about it 2 weeks ago when someone pulled their phone out and said, have you seen this? And then since then, as I said, not a word of a lie, I've been driving around dodging the potholes again this morning, and I thought, right, we need to find out more about this app. When you report something, do you need to identify who is responsible, or does the app work that out?
No, so that's what makes the app so easy to use. It takes about 30 seconds. All you really need to do is take a photo. You can use the photo location to tell the solver, the responsible authority, where the problem is. And once you confirm what the problem is, the app will figure out who is actually responsible. So often when you're on a road, it could be a council road, it could be a state road, and the app effectively figures that out on your behalf. So the process takes about 30 seconds, and off it goes. And you don't really need to know who's responsible where you are.
That's got to be very clever in the back end, because some roads are council roads and some are state roads and some are federal roads. How on earth, I suppose it doesn't matter. I was going to say, how does it all work? But it doesn't matter. The main thing is it does work and it's simple to use.
Definitely, and it's actually a great system. We've got over 800 authorities across Australia and New Zealand, actually, and that's why it works so well, because sometimes, for example, for myself, when I'm walking around and I see a pit along the footpath, often you don't really know. It could be a collapsed storm drain, it could be an NBN pit, it could be anything. And if you just take a photo with the app, if you've sent it to council and the council said, oh, actually that specific pit isn't ours, they can flick it on to, say, the state roads in like 2 clicks. So that's what makes the app so powerful. And what's great is that over 800 of these solvers, they all receive these snaps, and all councils receive them for free across Australia and New Zealand. So you don't have to be signed up or subscribed, and there's no, paid subscription required for councils to use the app. They do get everything.
So what is the business model? Because I know there'll be some listeners thinking, so that means there must be ads. So how do you actually make money out of it?
Yeah, look, definitely no ads. What's important to us is that you can just use the app no matter where you are, and you can get the job done and get the report off to the people who really need to know about it. How the model works is that councils or power, water, retailers, and companies like NBN and Australia Post, they will sign up and they will receive extra benefits. So instead of just receiving the photo and the location and the details that the app user will send, they could, for example, council over where I am here in Melbourne, their parking officers will get an SMS whenever someone sends an illegal parking report.
Right, so they're paying for like a premium service, which they don't have to either, but they do, and that's the business model. I think it's important to be open and upfront about that, because you're not a charity. Well, I think this is great. Like I know that if a council is made aware of potholes, they're responsible for damage caused, basically, and the same goes for broken footpaths. But if council doesn't know about these things, they can dodge being held responsible, which is probably fair enough. So we should all be helping each other by reporting all of these things, I reckon, anyway. And I'm going to be adding at least 2 potholes to the app this afternoon, because I'm going to go straight there after I get off air.
That's great. And a lot of people use the app because they see results. I mean, on our end, we had almost 1.5 million snaps that were spent last year, and our app users are telling us that 92% of them were solved. And you may not have heard from the council. As you know, council, they're very, resource bound, but they do try to get the job done, and we're hearing that they absolutely are.
All right. Well, this is excellent news. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning. It is called It's called Snap, Send, Solve, and it should make it a lot easier to report anything from a pothole to an abandoned trolley or overgrown vegetation, any of 70 things you might notice around the place.